Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Yang berusaha Puan Arinawati Ayub, Ketua Pustakawan USM. Yang berusaha Puan Radia Banujan Muhammad, Timbalan Ketua Pustakawan, merangkap Ketua Seksyen Pengurusan Koleksi Perpustakaan USM. Yang berusaha Puan Husriati Husin, menjalankan tugas Ketua Seksyen Pengurusan Perkhidmatan Perpustakaan USM, merangkap pengerusi bagi Simposium Perpustakaan Bersama Pusat Pengajian 2024, yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Muhammad Hazwan Husin, Timbalan Pengarah Pejabat Pengurusan dan Kreativiti Penyelidikan RCMO USM, para pembentang yang dihormati, tetamu jemputan dan hadirin sekalian. Selamat datang ke Simposium Perpustakaan Bersama Pusat Pengajian pada hari ini. Terima kasih diucapkan atas kehadiran anda. Saya Nur Farisha Akmal Muhammad Rasid, Pustakawan Bahagian Pengurusan Data Penerbitan, merangkap pengacara majlis bagi program kita pada hari ini. Simposium Perpustakaan Bersama Pusat Pengajian adalah program dui tahunan anjuran bersama Bahagian Rujukan Sokongan Akademik BRSA serta Bahagian Pengurusan Data Penyelidikan BPDP Perpustakaan Hamzah Sendut USM. Ia bertujuan memperkukuh kerjasama antara pusat pengajian dengan perpustakaan dan meningkatkan pemahaman mendalam tentang peranan masing-masing dalam menyokong aktiviti pembelajaran, pengajaran, perundingan dan penyelidikan. Bertemakan etika dan integriti dalam penyelidikan dunia akademik, simposium ini menekankan kepentingan amalan beretika dan integriti dalam bidang akademik dan penyelidikan. Sebelum kita memulakan majlis, izinkan saya menyentuh beberapa perkara. Pertama, sila pastikan telefon bimbit anda berada dalam mood senyap bagi mengurangkan gangguan semasa sesi berlangsung. Kedua, kami juga telah memperuntukkan masa khusus untuk sesi soal jawab selepas pembentangan para penceramah. Hadirin termasuk peserta dalam talian sangat dialu-alukan untuk mengambil bahagian secara aktif. Sila nyatakan terlebih dahulu nama dan jabatan anda. Bagi peserta dalam talian iaitu di laman Facebook Perpustakaan USM, anda boleh menghantar soalan melalui ruangan komen siaran langsung. Baiklah, bagi memulakan majlis, saya menjemput Yang Berusaha Dr. Muhammad Kamal Muhammad Nafiah untuk bacaan doa. Dipersilakan.
Al-Fatihah. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana ighfir lana dhunubana wa liwalidina warhamhuma kama rabbayana saghira wa jami'il muslimina wal muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, kami berkumpul pada hari yang penuh barakah ini untuk menjayakan majlis Simposium Perpustakaan Bersama Pusat Pengajian 2024 dengan tema Integriti, Etika dan Integriti dalam Penyelidikan Dunia Akademik. Kami memohon rahmat dan petunjuk-Mu di setiap langkah dan usaha kami untuk menegakkan nilai etika dan integriti dalam segala bentuk amalan kami, terutamanya dalam dunia penyelidikan akademik. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, kurniakan kepada kami kebijaksanaan dan kekuatan untuk menjalankan amanah ini dengan penuh tanggungjawab dan keikhlasan. Lindungilah kami daripada godaan dan dugaan yang boleh merosak diri kami sebagai seorang penyelidik. Ya Allah, Tetapkanlah hati kami dalam kebenaran dan ketulusan. Semoga setiap usaha dan gerak kerja kajian serta penyelidikan yang kami lakukan diberkati dan membawa manfaat kepada seluruh umat manusia. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar wa sallallahu ala sayyidina wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Kamal Muhammad Nafiah atas bacaan doa tadi. Seterusnya saya dengan segala hormatnya menjemput yang berusaha Puan Arinawati Ayub, Ketua Pustakawan USM untuk menyampaikan kata alu-aluan. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Terima kasih saudari pengerusi majlis. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Muhammad Hazwan Hussein, Timbalan Pengarah, Pejabat Pengurusan dan Kreativiti Pendidikan USM. Yang berusaha Puan Radia Banu, Timbalan Ketua Pustakawan. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Norizan Anwar dari Universiti Teknologi Mara. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Song Bengka dari Monash University, Malaysia. Yang berusaha Puan Husriati Hussein, mengurusi Simposium Perpustakaan Bersama Pusat Pengajian tahun 2024. Barisan-barisan panel jemputan, para peserta simposium yang dihormati dan tuan-puan dan puan-puan hadirin sekalian. Alhamdulillah, syukur kita kehadrat ilahi kerana dengan limpah dan kurnianya kita dapat bersama-sama berkumpul pada hari ini di dalam Simposium Etika dan Integriti Pendidikan Dunia Akademik yang dianjurkan oleh Perpustakaan Hamzah Sendut. Tema simposium kita pada kali ini adalah Etika dan Integriti dalam Pendidikan Dunia Akademik, sangat bertepatan dengan keperluan semasa dalam dunia akademik dan pendidikan. Topik ini bukan sahaja relevan, malah amat kritikal dalam memastikan hasil pendidikan yang kita sumbangkan kepada masyarakat dan dunia ilmu adalah berkualiti, telus dan mempunyai integriti yang tinggi. Hadirin sekalian, dalam konteks dunia akademik, etika dan integriti adalah komponen asas yang membentuk kredibiliti dan keberkesanan hasil pendidikan. Integriti dalam pendidikan merujuk kepada prinsip ketelusan, kejujuran dan accountability dalam setiap fasa proses pendidikan. Ia bukan sekadar satu kod tingkah laku tetapi juga satu falsafah dan komitmen yang mengikat pendidik untuk menjalankan kajian dengan telus dan bertanggungjawab. Ini melibatkan proses yang menyeluruh dari perancangan kajian yang mematuhi piawaian etika yang ditetapkan, pengumpulan dan analisis data yang berasaskan prinsip saintifik, hinggalah kepada penulisan dan penerbitan hasil pendidikan yang menghormati hak intelek dan keaslian. Kecuaian dalam mematuhi prinsip ini boleh menyebabkan hasil pendidikan yang berat sebelah atau lebih buruk lagi mempromosikan dapatan yang tidak sahih yang boleh menjejaskan reputasi institusi dan memudaratkan masyarakat yang bergantung kepada pendidikan itu untuk membentuk dasar dan amalan. Plagiat, fabrikasi dan falsifikasi data merupakan antara isu serius yang mencabar integriti pendidikan yang melibatkan pemalsuan data, iaitu sebagai contoh pemalsuan data yang tidak wujud bukan sahaja membahayakan keaslian kepada kajian tetapi juga mengaburkan batas antara fakta dan rekaan yang akhirnya merendahkan nilai sebenar pendidikan itu sendiri. Tindakan tidak beretika seperti ini membawa implikasi besar dan boleh menyebabkan hilangnya kepercayaan masyarakat terhadap institusi akademik dan pendidikan secara keseluruhannya. Akibatnya bukan sekadar memberi kesan kepada pihak yang terlibat secara langsung, bahkan turut membawa implikasi luas kepada masyarakat yang terdedah kepada maklumat yang kurang sahih atau menyimpang daripada kebenaran yang sebenarnya. Oleh yang demikian, sebuah yang teguh dalam mendukung kecemerlangan pendidikan sebagai sebuah institusi yang mendukung kecemerlangan pendidikan, kami yakin bahawa salah satu teras utama perpustakaan adalah untuk memperkukuhkan kesedaran dan pemahaman mendalam tentang etika dalam pendidikan. Di samping menyediakan akses kepada sumber ilmiah yang berwibawa dan informasi yang sahih, perpustakaan turut menggalas tanggungjawab sebagai pendorong utama dalam memberi latihan serta bimbingan kepada pendidik demi membangunkan amalan pendidikan yang berlandaskan etika yang tinggi. Perpustakaan berfungsi sebagai pusat penyebaran ilmu yang bukan sekadar membekalkan rujukan berkualiti, malah turut menyumbang panduan komprehensif dalam pematuhan etika akademik dan integriti pendidikan. Melalui penyediaan bahan yang unggul dan metodologi yang telus, perpustakaan menjadi pemangkin kepada pembentukan budaya akademik yang menjunjung tinggi integriti dan menjadi sebuah budaya penting yang memastikan kredibiliti dan keturunan ilmu pengetahuan kekal terpelihara untuk jangka masa panjang. Sebagai perpustakaan juga, kami mendukung tanggungjawab untuk menyokong aktiviti pembelajaran, pengajaran dan pendidikan di universiti. Kami amat menghargai peluang ini untuk berkolaborasi bersama Pusat Pengajian dalam menganjurkan platform seperti simposium ini. Diharap melalui perbincangan pada hari ini, kita dapat berkongsi amalan terbaik dan mendapat inspirasi untuk terus meningkatkan tahap integriti dalam pendidikan masing-masing. Akhir kata, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada semua yang terlibat dalam menjayakan simposium ini, terutamanya penceramah dan panel jemputan yang sudi menerima jemputan kami pada hari ini untuk simposium ini. Semoga simposium ini dapat memberi manfaat yang besar kepada kita semua dan seterusnya memperkukuhkan lagi amalan etika dan integriti dalam dunia akademik, di mana tanggungjawab kita bersama untuk menghasilkan pendidikan yang telus yang untuk bakal kita tinggalkan untuk generasi masa depan. InsyaAllah. Sekian. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Yang Berusaha Puan Arinawati Ayub atas ucapan yang penuh bermakna sebentar tadi. Majlis akan diteruskan dengan ucap tama daripada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Muhammad Hazwan Hussein, Timbalan Pengarah Pejabat Pengurusan dan Kreativiti Penyelidikan RCMO USM. Dr. Muhammad Hazwan Hussein ialah seorang Profesor Madya di Pusat Pengajian Sains Kimia USM dan kini berkhidmat sebagai Timbalan Pengarah Pejabat Pengurusan Kreativiti dan Penyelidikan RCMO. Bidang penyelidikan beliau tertumpu kepada penambahbaikan biomas lignoselulosa bagi aplikasi bahan-bahan maju dan perlindungan kakisan. Beliau telah disenaraikan dalam kategori Top 2% Saintis di dunia bagi tahun 2019 sehingga 2022 oleh Universiti Stanford. Pada tahun 2023, beliau telah dianugerahkan gelaran Top Research Scientist Malaysia TRSM oleh Akademi Sains Malaysia. Dr. Hazwan juga merupakan fellow penyelidik di Sergio Tech Unimed dan profesor pelawat di Universiti Lorraine, Perancis. Beliau telah menerbitkan lebih daripada 150 makalah penyelidikan dalam jurnal berprestij serta membentangkan banyak kertas saintifik di pelbagai persidangan peringkat kebangsaan dan antarabangsa. Beliau juga bertugas sebagai editor bersekutu untuk Frontiers in Chemistry, Green and Sustainable Chemistry dan editor ulasan untuk Frontiers in Materials, Environmental Degradation of Materials. Dr. Hazwan berdaftar sebagai ahli kimia di Institut Kimia Malaysia, ahli profesional di Institute of Corrosion UK dan ahli National Association of Corrosion Engineer NACE USA. Dengan hormat, majlis mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Muhammad Hazwan Hussein untuk menyampaikan ucap tama beliau yang bertajuk Etika dan Integriti dalam Penyelidikan Dunia Akademik. Dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam Malaysia Madani. Yang Berusaha Puan Arinawati Ayub, Ketua Pustakawan Universiti Sains Malaysia. Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Norizan Anwar dari Universiti Teknologi Mara. Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Song Bengkah dari Monash University Malaysia. Yang Berusaha Puan Husriati Hussein, Pengerusi Simposium Perpustakaan Bersama Pusat Pengajian 2024, barisan panel jemputan, hadirin sekalian, para peserta simposium yang dimuati. Tuan-tuan dan puan hadirin sekalian, Alhamdulillah, pertamanya saya ingin mengucapkan dan memanjatkan setinggi-tinggi kesyukuran kehadrat Allah SWT kerana dengan limpah kurnia dan izinnya, maka kita dapat bersama-sama dalam Majlis Simposium Etika dan Integriti Pendidikan Dunia Akademik. Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada pihak pustakawan selaku penganjur atas undangan untuk saya menyempurnakan simposium ini, dan saya turut difahamkan penganjuran simposium ini adalah untuk kali ketiga yang diadakan, bermula pada tahun 2020, 2022 dan 2024 bagi memberi peluang kepada pensyarah, penyelidik dan pustakawan untuk berkongsi kepakaran dan bertukar pandangan mengenai isu-isu berkaitan pemengkasaan penyelidikan. Jadi tajuk hari ini dia agak menarik sikit kerana berkaitan dengan etika penyelidikan, dan di USM sendiri adalah menjadi tugas dan tanggungjawab pejabat penyelidikan dan inovasi, khususnya pejabat kami SMO untuk melihat isu-isu yang berkaitan dengan etika penyelidikan ini. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, berkaitan dengan etika, isu etika ini sendiri, kalau kita lihat banyak kes-kes dalam masa terkini berkaitan dengan isu penerbitan yang ditarik semula, retraction, publication, isu pemalsuan data, dan juga berbagai isu-isu yang lain. Saya tak pasti kalau tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ada lihat ada satu artikel yang telah diterbitkan oleh Nature tahun lepas berkaitan dengan retraction, articles di mana Malaysia ni pun boleh tahan juga dia punya bilangan artikel yang telah dikeluarkan, ditarik keluar sebanyak 17 artikel per 10,000 artikel. Jadi amount tu agak banyak. Tapi kalau tengok kat situ, yang paling banyak adalah negara Saudi Arabia. Tapi trend ini adalah trend yang tidak sihat kerana kita lihat isu berkaitan dengan retraction ini sendiri bukanlah tidak semestinya disebabkan oleh penyelidik sendiri. Boleh jadi juga retraction isu ni datangnya daripada pelajar. Mungkin kita tak tahu, pelajar luar negara. Mereka menulis artikel bila mereka dah habis belajar dan tidak ada menggunakan afiliasi universiti, tetapi tidak ada nama penyelia dan sebagainya. Jadi bila library USM, kita detect daripada sistem, kita tarik data, kita nampak selalunya dalam audit-audit MyRA kita akan nampak isu yang ni. So kita nak kira mana, sebab penyelidik yang utama tu sepatutnya daripada pensyarah tidak ada, yang ada pelajar. Jadi itu datangnya isu retract selain daripada kes-kes yang lain berkaitan dengan etika dan sebagainya. Hadirin sekalian, etika dan integriti bukanlah istilah asing dalam dunia pendidikan. Ia adalah teras dan tunjang bagi setiap langkah dan tindakan yang diambil oleh seorang penyelidik, bermula dari merancang kajian, mengumpul data sehinggalah menerbitkan hasil kajian. Tanpa etika dan integriti, semua hasil penyelidikan akan kehilangan nilai dan kepercayaan yang diberikan oleh masyarakat dan komuniti penyelidik. Etika dan penyelidikan menggariskan prinsip-prinsip asas seperti kejujuran, ketulusan, amanah, ilmu dan tanggungjawab. Integriti pula memastikan penyelidik berpegang teguh kepada prinsip-prinsip ini walaupun berdepan dengan pelbagai cabaran dan tekanan. Integriti bukan hanya melibatkan kejujuran dalam penyelidikan tetapi juga keterbukaan untuk mengakui kesilapan, mengelakkan plagiat dan penyelidikan dan menjaga hak intelektual rakan-rakan penyelidik. Cabaran dalam dunia penyelidikan masa kini boleh menggugat etika dan integriti penyelidik apabila tekanan untuk menerbitkan kajian dalam jurnal-jurnal terkemuka iaitu istilah publish or perish. Kita sendiri pun duduk dekat USN sebagai penyelidik. Saya sendiri pun sebagai penyelidik, kita ada KPI tersendiri. Setiap PTJ tu macam kalau syarah kena publish 3, kena terbitkan 3 penerbitan. Itu senior lecturer. Kalau associate professor 4 dan sebagainya. Jadi bila ada tekanan seperti ini, maka kecenderungan untuk datangnya isu-isu berkaitan dengan etika ni ada. Ada juga satu artikel yang saya baca, pensyarah daripada ataupun penyelidik daripada Jepun. Beliau telah memalsukan data, memalsukan 42 artikel dan 13 daripada artikel tersebut telah ditarik semula. Jadi betapa seriusnya kerana terdesak nak naik pangkat, nak naik gaji dan sebagainya. Nak naik gaji, dah sign SSPA belum? Jadi isu-isu seperti ini kita nampak ada kecenderungan untuk menyebabkan penyelidik tersebut terjerumus dalam masalah seperti ini. Dan sekiranya penyelidik kalau tidak tahu, sebab kadang-kadang pensyarah-pensyarah muda mereka tak tahu sama ada boleh atau tidak, kalau kita kaitkan mungkin penyelidik bersama dengan rakan kolaborator luar negara dan sebagainya, kadang-kadang kita pun tak tahu sama ada kolaborator tu mereka ni dia penyelidik yang legit ataupun tidak. Dia publish saja dan sebagainya. Jadi kita boleh berhubung dengan pihak RCMO dan juga pihak pejabat perundangan. Kerana pakar rujuk kita adalah daripada pejabat perundangan. Apa saja yang berkaitan dengan isu-isu etika ini kita dapat elakkan daripada awal sekiranya ada sesi konsultasi dengan pejabat perundangan kita. Hadirin sekalian, kita juga tidak boleh menafikan bahawa jurnal kurang berwibawa iaitu predatory dan artikel yang ditarik balik, retracted articles adalah antara cabaran yang perlu kita hadapi bersama. Saya difahamkan bahawa salah satu sesi dalam simposium ini yang akan dibentangkan oleh Profesor Madya, Dr. Song Bengkah akan membincangkan perkara ini dengan lebih mendalam. Ini adalah peringatan yang penting bagi semua penyelidik untuk sentiasa berhati-hati dalam memilih jurnal yang berwibawa dan berindeks sebelum menerbitkan hasil penyelidikan. Artikel yang ditarik balik akan menjejaskan reputasi USM sebagai universiti pendidikan dan akan memberi impak kepada pemarkahan Malaysian Research Assessment MYRA. Oleh yang demikian, saya menyeru kepada semua rakan-rakan penyelidik agar mengambil serius berkaitan hal ini dan berhati-hati dalam melaksanakan dan menerbitkan hasil kajian dan mengelakkan diri daripada melakukan perkara-perkara yang boleh menyumbang kepada penarikan artikel. Artikel yang ditarik balik haruslah menjadi teladan kepada semua bagi menjaga reputasi akademik dan kepercayaan komuniti akademik. Untuk memastikan etika penyidikan terus dijunjung, kita sebagai institusi akademik mesti memainkan peranan dalam membentuk dasar dan polisi yang jelas. Di USM kita telah mengambil langkah proaktif untuk memastikan penyelidik diberikan pendidikan secukupnya mengenai kod etika penyelidikan melalui kursus, bengkel dan sebagainya. Dan di RCMO sendiri pun kita lakukan RCP dengan lebih kerap. RCP adalah merujuk kepada Research Competency Program, di mana tiap-tiap bulan kita akan menjemput penceramah daripada institusi luar untuk memberikan sedikit tips lah ataupun perkongsian berkaitan dengan isu-isu penerbitan, etika dan sebagainya. Selain daripada itu juga penyelidik kita bila mereka mendapatkan grant, kita juga akan mengadakan sesi bersama dengan Jabatan Bendahari dan juga PUU, Pejabat Perundangan, bagi memastikan isu-isu berkaitan dengan apa saja yang tidak boleh. Ini berkaitan dengan Akta Pembedaraan lah, AP59. Mungkin isu etika juga boleh, tidak semestinya dalam bentuk penerbitan tetapi juga boleh jadi daripada salah laku penggunaan dana dan sebagainya. Okay? Dan di USM juga kita ada satu jawatankuasa iaitu Jawatankuasa Etika Penyelidikan yang dipengerusikan oleh Prof. saya Datuk Akmal. Okey, dalam Jawatankuasa Dasar dan Etika Penyidikan USM, okey, ia telah diwujudkan bagi memperkukuhkan budaya penyidikan yang berinovasi dan memastikan penyelidikan dijalankan dengan penuh integriti dan beretika. Semua penyidikan yang dijalankan oleh ahli akademik hendaklah mematuhi etika tahap tinggi berpandukan kod-kod etika dan garis panduan termasuklah kod amalan terbaik penyidikan Malaysia. Saya percaya bahawa dasar yang ketat ini adalah penting untuk membina budaya integriti yang mampan. Namun, lebih daripada sekadar polisi, ia juga melibatkan tanggungjawab kita sebagai komuniti penyelidikan untuk memastikan bahawa kita saling memantau dan menasihati demi menjaga maruah dan kualiti penyelidikan kita. Sebagai pemimpin akademik, kita semua mempunyai tanggungjawab yang besar untuk menjadi contoh dan teladan kepada yang muda. Integriti yang kita tunjukkan dalam penyidikan kita akan membentuk generasi penyidik yang akan datang. Saya menyuruh agar kita semua termasuk diri saya sendiri terus memperjuangkan nilai-nilai etika dalam setiap kerja yang kita lakukan. Ini termasuklah menyediakan persekitaran yang selamat untuk penyelidik melaporkan sebarang bentuk pelanggaran etika tanpa rasa takut dan juga khawatir. Hadirin yang dihormati, kejayaan dalam penyelidikan tidak akan bermakna sekiranya ia tidak dicapai dengan mengorbankan etika dan integriti. Oleh itu, saya berharap agar perbincangan kita pada hari ini akan membuka mata dan hati kita untuk menghargai kepentingan etika dalam dunia penyelidikan. Hanya dengan memegang teguh kepada prinsip-prinsip etika dan integriti, kita dapat memastikan bahawa penyelidikan kita dapat memberi manfaat yang sebenar kepada masyarakat dan juga komuniti akademik. Saya mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih sekali lagi kepada semua yang telah bertungkus lumus menjayakan simposium ini dan saya berharap agar kita semua dapat memanfaatkan sesi-sesi yang telah disusun baik pada hari ini. Sekian, terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Muhammad Hazwan Hussein atas ucaptama yang penuh inspirasi. Sebagai tanda penghargaan, majlis mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Puan Arinawati Ayub, Ketua Pustakawan USM, diiringi oleh Yang Berusaha Puan Husriati Hussein, Pengerusi Simposium Perpustakaan Bersama Pusat Pengajian 2024 untuk menyampaikan cenderahati kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Muhammad Hazwan Hussein. Dengan segala hormatnya dipersilakan. Terima kasih diucapkan. Hadirin yang dihormati, majlis akan berehat seketika untuk minum pagi. Para tetamu jemputan dijemput untuk ke ruang rehat staf perpustakaan untuk menikmati jamuan minum pagi. Para peserta juga boleh menikmati juadah yang telah disediakan di ruang belakang Dewan dan kita akan bersambung semula pada jam 11.30 pagi. Diharapkan para hadirin dapat kembali ke Dewan tepat pada waktunya. Terima kasih. Dijemput para tetamu jemputan untuk ke ruang rehat staf perpustakaan untuk menikmati jamuan minum pagi. Para peserta juga boleh menikmati juadah yang telah disediakan di ruang belakang Dewan dan kita akan bersambung semula pada jam 10.30 pagi. Diharapkan para hadirin dapat kembali ke Dewan tepat pada waktunya. Terima kasih.
tes, tes, tes. Tes, tes, tes.
Nen. Oi, Nen.
Tes, 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 tes. Cubaan, cubaan, 1, 2, 3, cubaan, 1, 2, 3. Tes, 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 1, 2, 3, cubaan. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, cubaan, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Nen.
Tes. Okey, 1. tes. Cubaan suara 1, 2, 3. Testing. Cubaan suara 1, 2, 3. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Testing. Tes. Testing. Cubaan suara. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Cubaan 1, 2, 3. Testing. Cubaan 1, 2, 3. Salah. Tes. 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 Cubaan 1, 2, 3. Testing. Cubaan 1, 2. Tes. Testing. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Majlis akan bermula sebentar sahaja lagi. Peserta boleh mengambil tempat masing-masing dan digalakkan untuk memenuhi ruang hadapan Dewan. Hadirin yang dihormati, kita akan meneruskan majlis dengan perkongsian ilmu oleh penceramah jemputan dari latar belakang yang hebat-hebat belaka. Hadirin termasuk peserta dalam talian digalakkan untuk menyediakan soalan kepada penceramah pada akhir pembentangan. Kita mulakan dengan sesi pembentangan pertama oleh yang berusaha, Profesor Madya Dr. Norizan Anwar dari Kolej Pengajian Pengkomputeran, Informatik dan Matematik, Universiti Teknologi Mara UiTM. Dr. Norizan Anwar ialah seorang Profesor Madya di Pusat Pengajian Sains Maklumat, Kolej Pengajian Pengkomputeran, Informatik dan Matematik, KPPIM, Universiti Teknologi Mara UiTM, Malaysia. Beliau kini memegang jawatan sebagai penyelaras bagi penyelidikan Pusat Pengajian Siswazah, Pusat Pengajian Sains Maklumat. Beliau memperoleh ijazah kedoktoran PhD daripada UiTM dalam bidang penggunaan strategi sistem maklumat pada tahun 2017. Sebelum menyertai UiTM, beliau berkhidmat dengan teras teknologi sendirian berhad sebagai jurutera sistem dari tahun 2001 sehingga 2009. Bidang penyelidikan beliau merangkumi pengurusan sistem maklumat, pengurusan maklumat, reka bentuk dan pelaksanaan sistem, penilaian teknologi, keberkesanan dan kejayaan, fleksibiliti infrastruktur IT, penggunaan strategi sistem maklumat, reka bentuk pengalaman pengguna UX, teknologi maklumat atau sistem maklumat organisasi dan individu, serta penerimaan dan tingkah laku. Beliau kini sedang menjalankan beberapa projek penyelidikan yang antaranya mengkaji peranan pemasaran media sosial dan pengurusan hubungan pelanggan CRM dalam meningkatkan prestasi perniagaan. Kami dengan sukacitanya menjemput yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Norizan Anwar untuk berkongsi kepakaran beliau berkenaan etika dalam penerbitan saintifik dengan tajuk Ethics in Scientific Publishing. Dipersilakan.
Testing. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. So have you guys take your breakfast? Okay, even though there's a ladies in the house, I tend to always use the term guys. So I hope the ladies don't feel offended, yeah? Okay. Well, because the nature, I'm a lecturer, so walking around is my, I would say, can I say my hobby? Okay, so please pardon me if I walk around and then you know to switch your head a lot this morning. Okay, first of all, thank you to USM Library for the invitation. Yeah, it's very nice place. This is my first time being here, so thank you. All right, so my name is Norizan Anwar. So I'm here. I would like to, I would say more to share, you know, whatever my my knowledge, my experience regarding the ethics in scientific publishing. Okay, thank you. I would say Miss. Okay, all right. For the introduction. So right now, yeah, I'm handling for the research, postgraduate research. So ethic is, I would say, a part of, you know, my duty to look into it. All right. So ethics in scientific publishing is a very, very interesting. But before I go ahead, I would like everybody, I'm sure some of you already know what is when we are talking about ethics, you know, and whatnot. So, but I want to, you know, just give some definition, what is it and whatnot. All right. So please allow me to start. Someone is helping me to control the slide. Or... Oh, okay. Okay, here are the outline of my presentation today. Okay, so for the introduction, oops, sorry. Where should I find? Saya salah ke apa? Okay. All right, for the introduction, okay. We as a human being, okay, all this while, I would say, we tend to concerned about how I put this in words. Okay, we are more concerned about security, our data, our information. You know, we are less, I would say, bother or care about talking about the integrity, what we should put it in a place and whatnot. So these are a norm as a human. You know, in fact, now just to relate, when we have a social media, and then just now we are talking about the introduction of online banking. You know, even though you look, I mean, I look young, but I'm not that young. Okay, I do remember back then when I started, you know, the online banking is, you know, being introduced. So the acceptance level is not there yet. You know, we try to learn to adopt, and then we use, and then yes, we continue to use, and today we are really engaged. And if I ask everybody to check your wallet, I can say that your notes is lesser than whatever in your account. Yeah. So that would be, you know, most probably. So because it's happened to me now, when the place like do not accept any e-wallet, online banking, I'll start to panic. You know, oh my God. You know, inside my wallet, I just have RM2. So how am I going to pay, you know, so such thing. So human, the norm, they are more concerning about, you know, those kind of information. Okay. However, like I said just now, they are not really looking into, you know, the ethically, the integration, not integration, sorry, the integrity of people doing things. Okay, so what is ethics actually? Why this need, especially to, you know, we are in the academic institution. Okay, so talking about ethics, this is actually a discipline study or moral. It shows our morality. That's why taught by Dr. Hazwan this morning, I do agree. When we against, you know, we don't have the ethic philosophy, people will not, look you in a certain, they will like take or look you lightly, you know, because ethic, moral, this is what people look, the perception. So that's why ethics, yeah, it's about your morality, how you hold your moral to a certain concept and whatnot. Okay, so when talking about moral, yeah, what should be you behave, you know, things like that. Because now we are not deniable because everybody is with the gadget, you know. If I ask every one of you, if you left your handphone at home, will you go back? The answer is yes. Yeah. Okay, one more thing. I think this is a lifesaver. You bring your handphone is with you, but the charger is not with you. What will you do? Buy one. Wow, you see? Buy one, huh? Okay. Okay, I'm not sure in this library, do you provide a service to charge a handphone? I think when you can start with that income generation. Okay. Right. So it's important because to me, when I go out, I will make sure these two things. Actually three, my laptop, my handphone, and with the charger. If the charger is not with me, then my life will be like, okay. Okay, so these are the things. All right. So when talking about ethic is relate with, you know, the moral and then the way you behave, how you put things into place. Because now we are talking about IT. I can see no one will having a phone without a camera. So things like that. Okay, so that is the challenge. So where these ethics come from, the term, okay, is actually from Greek, yeah. It's actually mentioning about the character. So that's why it relates with the behavior just now, yeah. So this one is been talking about behavior, of course, good versus bad. So things like that, right versus wrong. Okay, that is what we evaluate. That is what we are putting, we are highlight, you know, about ethics. So how good you put your research on it, how bad you arrange, I mean, you, I don't see bad lah. And how you mold your paper. Okay. I would like to ask my audience in front, who are among you guys is a postgraduate student? Okay, one, two. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So publication with you is a synonym. Have you published? Very good. So did you put your supervisor's name? Sure. Can we check? What is your student ID? Okay. All right. So, okay. Okay, when you have an experience, publish paper, put it. So how you put it? You produce the paper. If it's a conceptual paper, if it's a SLR paper, systematic literature review paper, if it's a bibliometric papers, if it's a empirical papers, so how you put it? How ethical? How do you? Where's the data come from? Do you cite it? Do you do the citation? And then do you really put the citation correctly? Because I'm pretty sure every one of you knows about the language of doing citation. We have APA style, MAA style, IEEE style, and whatnot. But again, the most important thing is how you put things into your paper. Okay, so it's all about the behavior, the principles you put it, in which manner. Okay, that is I would say the background of it. Oops. Oh shoot. Nak point ke mana sebenarnya? Dah ke mana ni? Point ke mana? Okay, so I purposely put on your marks, set, go. On your marks, get, set, go. So why I put this? This is actually, I want to translate into doing research. Okay, because when we produce paper, of course, we cannot run away by doing research. So like us in UITM, our postgraduate students, once they done with their defense proposal, they need to apply for the ethics approval. So we always remind them, once you get your ethics approval, then you can proceed with your data collection. If you are not getting any news from the ethics department, so don't ever start your data collection because it's related from one to another. So, because when you submit to the research ethics department, to get an approval for you to start your research, collect your data. So why it's important? Because it involves these four things, One, your respondent, your participant, is it involve human? Okay, when involve human, how old? Below 17? Indigenous group? All that is a matter, right? Because if your respondent, audience, or participant is less than 17 years, can you just go straight away, approach them and collect your data? No. Indigenous group? So there is a way how you want to collect your data. So that's why when doing research, that's why you need to get your ethics approval. So because human is your subject. Okay. When you get the approval, of course, in a way, you already know the rule, I would say the procedure, the right way to approach and then to pick up. And then one more thing, if it's involved organization, because later on, I'm sure you're going to produce, you will come up with a publication. So the name of the organization, the name of the group, do you gonna, put it? Of course not. So these are the things. That's why in UITM, okay, before you get the approval, we're gonna ask what and how you're gonna treat the data. Are you just do for the purpose of produce your what do you call that, your thesis per se, or you gonna publish a paper? If you wanna publish a paper, we will ask you what will be your estimation, what will be your draft plan, your strategy to produce a paper and such. Okay. And then if those who are from SNT, so is it involve animals? Okay, like because I'm from School of Information Science, under the College of Computing, Informatics and Mathematics. Okay, sometimes our research involve what they call that? Hospital. Okay, Ministry of Health. Okay, so we involve hospital. So before they submit to us, what they need to do, they need to submit to the Health Ministry Department first to get their approval. So once they get their approval, then only they come to us to get UITM approval. Okay, that's one thing. And then some of them also doing their data collection to schools. Okay, again, schools also you need to go through our education punya ministry. So these are the flow, the process. So if we don't get the approval letter from the respective ministry, we will not proceed their application. So we will seek them, advise them, okay, these are the flow, you need to get this, this and this. So that's why. Okay, then animals. So again, what kind, to what extent you will treat the animals and whatnot. So these are the information that we gather. Okay, and then talking about biosafety. Okay, your study, your research, is it involved? If yes, they will relate with the institutional biosafety committee. So these are the things. Okay, so why? Yeah, prior to for you to collect your data, you start, to go through this first ethics layer, because to protect your research participant. Okay, this is what we want. We are talking about behavior, right? Doing a good things, the bad things, the right thing, or the wrong thing. So that's why we want the initial or the ultimate goal is to protect your participant. So these are the things. All right. So first, of course, to educate. So you educate yourself about the relevant ethical principles and guidelines. So what are the things? Okay, so usually we also give talks to our student every semester. Especially then we refresh. So every students are welcome to join, so that they know they can refresh what are the do and don'ts. And then to design, what are the design? You design your research accordance with the principles and the guidelines. So make sure you don't overboard, you have the limits and whatnot. So these are the things. And then you obtain what? Of course, the necessary approval. Okay, we in UITM, we also provide a few forms. Yeah, if you involving, like I said just now, your participants less than 17 years old, or you're involve indigenous group. So yeah, we also a few form. We do have form, yeah, so that we, when before you start the data collection, we will brief and then ask for their consent. Okay, then continuously, what is to put the good ethical principle into practice, like I mentioned just now. Okay, so who's who in this ethical conduct? Is it involve one person, 2 person, 3 parties? Who? Okay, so first thing first, your institution. Yeah, like here in USM. That's why when I asked Dr. Hazwan just now, do USM have one department or center that manage the ethics? Yes, he said that USM have a committee to review and evaluate. Same goes with UITM. We first, because we separate into several layers, because our undergraduate student also, if they involve any data collection, human, secondary data per se, they need to get approval. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, all right. So the institution need to set the standard. Okay, so that everybody aware and they're going to follow. And then the individual researcher, this is we ourselves, how to put our position. Sometimes, can we just say that, Waiting for the approval takes some time. Start doing data collection first lah. So what's the problem? Can we do that? Can we proceed? Very good, huh? You have a high integrity. Yes, so we cannot proceed. So just wait. So like my student. So doctor, what should we do while waiting for the ethics approval? Well, you can do a lot, man. You can produce paper. Okay. You can do systematic literature review paper. You can do bibliometric analysis paper. Much more. Okay. And the most important, you can improve or, top up your chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 while waiting for your ethics approval. Okay. That's why you need to plan. All right. So individual research. Okay. Then they must understand. Okay. Where, when to start and what not. Okay. And then talking about the journals. This is interesting. Everybody knows what is the capital A, capital I. Do you know what is capital A, capital I? Very good. Subhanallah. Excellent. Do you know what is it, girl? You okay? Whose answer just now? AI? Are you okay? So what is the full name? AI. Artificial intelligence. It's an artificial intelligence. The name that we used to call it AI. And I'm pretty sure in front of me, you have your best friend, AI best friend. Bestie, yes, BFF. Okay, I don't want to name, but I'm sure you have, you put, what they call that? In the Explorer. Your favorite bookmark, yes. So faster. Less than 5 seconds, highlight, okay. So, talking about journals also they need to play their roles, yeah, when we are talking about ethics. Okay. So this what I can see. I do some, I would say, a study between the prominent journals. What is their ethic procedure? They do highlight, actually, if you feel free to go through each of these prominent journals, yeah, online database, they have their policy talking about ethics. So they do highlight, so the scientific journal should establish, yes. If you can see, like I say, after this, feel free. Go to the prominent journal. I think you know who they are. Okay, they do establish this one. And this is very important. And then out of several established journals that I go through, there's one journal that mentioning about AI. And in fact, okay, this one journal, okay, you need to declare, okay, to what extent you are using your AI tools in you to publish your journal. In order, you prepare or you come up with your papers. So because they're gonna check your English or language similarities, and then they're gonna check your AI similarities. So if your AI similarities index is high, they need our justification. So far, yes, I found this one journal that need us to give feedback talking about AI. Okay, later on, inshallah, I'm going to share what are they look into and then to what extent and what not. Okay. Okay, then who next? The editors. Okay, so the editors also need to play their role to be ethics. They need to have a high standard. Okay, they cannot misuse. They cannot okay, you're my friend, so okay, come submit paper. Okay, cannot. So these are, because we are talking about ethical, your behavior, right? So these are the things. Okay, you don't misuse your position or your privilege. And then the referees, yeah. The referees also, the function more or less seem like the editor. Yeah, you need to put your high standard, and then you cannot compromise with the quality. That's for sure. Because why? Because later on, the paper gonna be referred. So that is the intention of why you are producing the paper. Am I right? Because you want to share your findings. Doesn't matter you are a social science student, doesn't matter if you are a SNT student. Because I do believe every single, findings that you in your study is beneficial, will give some input, insight. And in fact, to every one of you here, especially, PhD student, in order for you to find a problem statement is not easy, right? Some of you smiling. In your defense research proposal, most, I would say, your problem statement is not clear. So that's norm. So where we want to get a clearer problem statement? Of course, from publication papers. So that's why it's very important for us to, do ethically produce, do not manipulate the data so that, and then of course, that's why a good paper to me always put towards the end, okay, your limitation of your study and then your recommendation. So that from that recommendation can help other researchers or students out there to pick up and make as their problem statement. So these are the things. Okay, and then professional organizations. We need support from them? Yes. If you remember just now, when I'm talking about the animals, if you're a participant, your what you call that, SNT, your experiment involve animals, biosafety. So yes, that's why we need their involvement. Okay, because they also set a standard. Okay, this one. Ethical issues and misconduct. Okay, what are they? There are a few I outlined here. Okay, talking about originality and plagiarism. We have several tools to measure the similarities. Okay, I don't really prefer to use word plagiarism. I would prefer to use word similarities. So how high, how low your similarity index? So now, like us, we are looking into two. Which one? Talking about your language, your English, and then another one is, of course, if you are using the tools AI. Okay, this one we cannot deny. Okay, we need to embrace. But again, how we position ourselves to use those tools. Okay, because no matter what, we are the one, the keyboard, the finger who typing, who do the searching is from us. So that's why. Okay, all right. So plagiarism. Okay, talking about the expected that all scientific should be original from the author. Okay, it's important. Like I said, you are giving a new insight. Or I would say point to ponder by other researchers out there. Okay, the next one is multiple redundant or concurrent publication. Yes. Okay, you are in pressure, so why not? Let's submit, the same paper, the same article to journal A, B, and C. With the probability 0.33, 0.33, 0.33. Can you do that? Is it ethical? Okay, some I do come across a few journals. Even though you just the phase, the process that or the phase you are just submitting without desk review, you already need to declare that you are not submitting the same paper to other journals. Okay, so yeah, you cannot do. One paper you submit to one journal until that publisher response saying that okay, I don't say rejection lah. They will give a suggestion, submit to another journal, or you need to improve this and this. Okay, then only you submit to another journal. So don't ever duplicate and send to several journals. Okay, data access and retention. Okay, I do come across this one. I just submit my paper to journal, this one journal, but again, they ask us to share our raw data, to see the genuinity, to see, because from there, they can analyze further analysis, right? To see the reliability and whatnot. So yeah, you need to share. the data to their platform. However, with permission, they cannot reproduce or publish our data to another platform, another form, because we know, right? There's also some portal that provide secondary data, raw data, in fact. So these are the things. Okay. And then disclosure or and conflict of interest. Okay. So you need to declare or support. I mean, okay, this one. Okay. If you guys aware, this is some, I would say, the practice. Okay. If an individual is a part of the team, as an editorial board and whatnot, there's a percentage, means that you can only, how many percent or individual can publish paper in your particular journal, because that's why I just now mentioned who's who. You need to put your high standard, and you never what I call that, prejudice or take advantage with your position. Okay, fundamental errors in published works. Okay, these are the things just now. Limitation. We are not perfect. We are only human beings. So just declare what is the limitation of your study. Just put it down. Yeah. All right. And then, in fact, in statistic, yeah, we have also, they're allowable of, to commit with the error. That's why if sometimes we can detect that, if any one of you here familiar with statistic, like type 1 error, type 2 error, and such. So these are the things. So, okay, hazard on human or animal subject. Okay, so statement of compliance are required if the work involve chemicals, procedure, or equipment having unusual hazard. That's why. So that's it. Just now, when I say where we begin with the research, starting point from you. From you to collect your data. So you need to know who is actually your respondent: human, non-human, animals, biodiversity. So these are the things. Okay, and then use of patient image or case details. Yeah, this one, if it's involve patient, hospital patient, doctors, because some of where I come across, there's one student would like to come up with these mobile apps. So the mobile apps need to run with the real patient. So if you can see, the main niche of the study is just about designing the apps. The patient is just test the user interface, the user experience of the apps. But do we need to get the approval from Ministry of Health? The answer is yes. Okay, so from there, the outcome of the study, okay, we see the user experience of the user plus with the patient, what I call that, whatever the things that, the patient going through. So these are the things. And then acknowledgement of sources. Please, please, please. You get a grant from your university. You get a grant from your country. You get a grant. Sometimes, even though it's just a small, don't mention about the price, but please acknowledge. As simple as your institution giving you approval without any fine. You should acknowledge also to your institution because for allowing you to conduct the research. As simple as that. So you need to acknowledge. Yeah. So, okay. This one last about the ethical issues. Manipulation of name, authorship, signature, and references. Yes. I face this. Sometimes, yeah. When we read the articles, yeah. Oh, this one is very interesting, but we want to get to know further. So we gonna check, of course, the references section. Then there is go. Kalau dalam bahasa Malaysia, we call kecewa. No citation. Where to refer? jenuh I keluarkan skill searching ni. And Boolean technique. Take the word, some of the words, the author sometimes cannot find. So these are the things, okay? As simple as that, because it's actually beneficial to others, okay? And then, okay, talking about manipulation of name. Okay, this one, I think you guys, everybody, once you start to get yourself involved with writing papers, you need to know, because, okay, like me, Malay, we don't have first name, surname, and whatnot. So how you want to recognize? Okay, if like for Chinese, you have usually your surname and then your name, and then for like Western country, they have also such the family name and whatnot. So you want people to recognize you in what manner? So these are the thing. Indian also. So these you need to identify so that when you it's easier because like now all these prominent online database, we can in fact search by the author names, and then they can come up with all related articles that produced by that particular authors. Okay, I also do some while do my housekeeping. Why? Okay, sometimes we collaborate doing papers with outsiders. So it's we did not update them. Okay, what are our what correct our author's name? So there's a tendency. So it happened to me once. So I need to email to the journals to ask them to change my name for my citation, because it's important. Why it's important? Because I want to contribute to my university, of course. So these are the things. Okay. Okay, these are, I'm taking off this Danish Medical Research Council in 1991, what they outline, when talking about, the ethics issue. So they outline a few, and then the Danish Commission also included what are the things, when we are talking about this misconduct or ethical issue. Okay, here. Okay, just now Dr. Hazwan did mention our Malaysian ranking, right? Yeah. Okay. We are among the top 10. Something not too proud, but we need to, do something. Okay, so that's why I'm asking some tips from Dr. Hazwan. So what will you do? What will be your response? Corrective action. So every university need to play their role. We cannot be like one person or one individual action. So everybody must take place, work together so that we can reduce the number. Okay, so here the king say that Malaysia is among world top 8 with retractions in academic journals. So should we be worried? The answer is yes. Okay, all right. This is quite recent. Last year. Okay, I have also another one. PM must act decisively against academic misconduct in varsities. So this February 2024. And then we do have more. Review research KPIs in varsities because of the academic misconduct is rising and millions of ringgit spent of the payment of publication. I think this is your, you do agree, right? To subscribe, to pay for the publication is not that cheap. Yeah. We do have. Okay. Focus on the research impact, not quantity. Okay. Because all this related with my next subtopic. Why this thing, most of it happened. This one, a statistic, I took it from the academic integrity. Yeah, this study was done in a high school in United States. So if you can see, I highlight a few, which the first one, talking about paraphrasing or copying a few sentences. Yeah, overall 13.8% with 15% undergraduate. Even though you see the percentage number is small, but if you see the respondent, 70,000. It's actually a quite big number. Yeah. Okay. And then talking about the bottom, cheating in high school, admitted to cheating on tests. Okay, that I want you guys to focus on that one. They admit they are doing the plagiarism. 58%, more than half. Okay, so why? One thing, of course, the pressure to publish and to secure the funding. If you got the grant, the norm, if like university grant, usually 1 year. National level, normally 2 years. So due to, and then plus minus with the administrative process and whatnot, actually you don't get 2 years solid pun. You get lesser than that. Okay, so to secure, because you know that with the fund, okay, with the grant, you need to spend, of course, for partly for your publication. So to process, and then if high quarter journal, the publication is not taking like 1-2 months, longer than that, sometimes years. Keep on. Sometimes, like me myself, wait, need to refresh. This study is, this paper is about what, study about what, to update based on the comment and whatnot. So things like that. All right. And then the career advancement and the recognition, not deniable, especially for the academician and those PhD students. Because from your paper, this is your ticket if you want to enter to become an academician. Usually some of the favorite question, okay, papers that you publish in a index, journals or at least publication. So how many Q1, how many Q2, how many Q3, how many Q4, proceeding, journals, so things like that. All right. Okay, so that's part of it. Because of this, pressure, I would say issues, it leads to the misconduct and whatnot. Okay, what else? Lack of mentorship and guidance. The newbie, not used, not familiar. So tend to, lead to, yeah? And then poor research culture. I can see just now from the Dr. Azwan, you are very good. You are, continuously giving what I call that talk, okay, to all your committee here. So which is good. Okay, what else? We have a few for this. Oh, sorry. Okay, inadequate training in research ethic. Yeah, this happened. Because student will, like me myself, the student will come, will ask, then that's why in order for us to avoid this, we're going to do the research ethic talk or seminar every semester, so that at least we are helping them awareness and let them know that, okay, the things do and don'ts, talk about ethics. And then publication bias and pressure for positive result. Norman, if you have 5 hypotheses, 4 rejected, how you want to justify? 5 hypotheses ni, 4 hypotheses reject, 1 hypothesis je support. Because of that pressure, usually, you have 5 hypotheses, all 5 must be supported. So you manipulate your data. You should not do that. Just report as it is. The best part, do some additional, do an interview. Get to understand the situation. Why? So you can justify. Okay? All right. And then what? Lack of reproducibility and replication. Like you're taking the same part of it, take this literature, cut short. You think it's not that much, but it's actually more than 50%, your act. So you are actually commit to the non-ethical behavior. So things like that. All right. Okay. The impact, damage of the integrity. highlight, okay, news. The most thing we want to say to protect our university name. That's the most, because we don't want to tarnish the names, yeah. So they will damage the integrity, then harm to the public trust, for sure. People will tend to not cite you. People tend to not refer to your articles or your study. Okay, then misdirection of resources. Okay, negative impact on the patient care and public health. This when we are talking about the health field. Yeah? Okay, what else? Okay, damage of the research careers and reputation. That's for sure. Okay, undermining the scientific publishing process. So these are the impact. Okay, this is my last slide. Okay, talking about AI. Do we need to embrace, or we just deny the existence of this AI? You can ask yourself. But my personal point of view, while you are in education, we need to embrace technology. We don't deny the advantage of technology. But like I say, we are the one who position to use those, talking about generative AI or AI assisted technologies. So what are the things first? Talking about scientific writing. Write down your paper in your own mother tongue language and then upload. Click. Ethical or non-ethical? Okay. If for like bahasa Melayu punya phrase, tepuk dada, tanya selera. So things like that. Okay, and then that's why. Okay, talking about scientific writing, like I said, based on my experience, there's one journal. They ask us once we want to submit, to what level we are using AI. So we declare. Okay, here. Okay, what are the things, which part and what not. So when they run, okay, check into their tools. Okay, whatever that we admit, consistent with whatever their findings, then they're going to process to the next level of our publication. Okay, this one, talking about figure, image, and artwork. Can we just simply, if you put in a requirement saying that, okay, this, and this, and then you let AI to produce it, and then you publish, that one is a big no. Okay, you need to acknowledge and then you need to declare. But if you would like to, put some what do you call that, adjustment of the color, the toning, that one is allowable. Okay, all right. Okay, that is little bit about my sharing today. Yeah, to be confirmed. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so I pass my baton to you.
Okey. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Norizan Anwar atas pembentangan yang sangat berinformasi untuk para penyelidik terutamanya. Kini sesi soal jawab dibuka untuk para hadirin. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please do so at the microphone provided. Please state your name and institution.
Good morning, Prof. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. My name is Abdullah Kegama from the School of Humanities. Regarding this citation, I think there was a time that I was making some citations. Then I met a lady's name in the citation. So I said, no, this must be a mistake. Then I went to the main reference and found the original name of her father. So I cited her father's name instead of her name. So I don't know if this kind of practice is ethical or not. Thank you.
What's your name just now? Abdullah. Thank you, Abdullah, for the question. You are from Nigeria and then School of Humanities. Okay. Yeah. That's why just now I did mention talking about the name of the author, right? Because like we, Malaysia, in fact, like me, my name, Malay, Norizan Anwar, like for Chinese name, I asked permission from BK to use your name, Song Bengka. So there's also several ways of, people cite the names from India, for example. I mean, those are from, the Indian, like for example, Mariama, anak perempuan, Kalimutu, so things like that. So how you want to set. So your questions just now, if you miss quote, you not miss quote, you miss cite the author name, right? So these are the thing. Okay, like me myself, because okay, it's happened to me. Not I'm wrong side people name, the author's name, but they are putting the wrong my name in the wrong citation, because now if you can see most of online database they already giving you the citation, so that's why you as an author, you as a researcher, sometimes feel free to have a look, and then if you find that that is not your common norm, you need to update, email them, and don't you be a surprise, their response is quite good and quite fast. I think like my case, less than 24 hours, they just improve or update my citation name. Because in your case, I guess quite difficult if you want to, because it's a several layer, right? So these are the thing. Okay, I hope I answer you. Thank you.
Hi, Doctor. I'm Yati. I just want to ask about ghost authorship or free rider in publication. How can we prevent the ghost authorship in publication? That's all. Thanks.
Yati, you are giving me the hardest question ever in my life. Okay. To be frank, this case, just talking about paper, we are facing about producing a PhD thesis. We get to know, so how we want to respond. Okay. Yati putting me in a very difficult situation to answer lah. Okay. Ghostwriter. I do admit that is in practice in life. No deniable because of why the things happen. Okay, because like I said, the pressure, talking about the performance and whatnot, for the promotion. Yeah. But again, that's why it back reflect to the behavior of the individual itself. So because to me, I always relate with what we call the keberkatan. So things like that. It's of course, obviously, it's non-ethical. Yeah, you need to play a role in a matter, no matter what, even though checking the references. It's not that easier to what they call that, to improvise the citation. APA different style, MLA different style, IEEE the year is at behind. Am I right? So these are the things. At least put yourself, participate. But again, we don't deny that exists. People keep on doing it. So that's why what they call that, I do believe, like one more thing, the training. This what the things that you have done is a good effort. Give awareness. Keep on. Never have this one small dot. We don't, even though sometimes we feel tired, never. That's why teamwork. Keep on doing. Give awareness. Let them know at least. And then, just seek them to contribute in a way, even a small portion. So things like that, Yati. Okay, I hope I answer you, Yati. Yes, awareness, of course. Why not? I always have this idea. I would like if the library can go down to each faculty, because I know you conduct a class here, but why don't you reach to your user, your participants? It would be fun. Meet them. Give awareness. You guys can share a lot. Believe me. One more thing that I can see, yeah, there's a lot. I tend to relate with other things. That's why I try to, because here is the center of, I do believe library is the center of information. Okay. Okay. Keep on, Yati. Do more awareness. I do agree when, talk with BK. The topic is very interesting. It's very seldom because, when I get the invitation, like, I'm sure this is from library. Macam, I thought it's from the, ethic punya department. Patut, betul ni. Yeah, this is from library. So, yeah, this is a good effort. I will everybody give a big hand to them. Thank you.
Any questions? No? So Doctor, I have one question. Doctor. I'm Rosnani from USM Library. Just now you already have given one point on the scientific misconduct occurs, right? Related to publications bias and pressure for positive results. So on parts of that, any tips from you for us, the librarian, the lecturers, the researchers, the postgraduate, to increase the acceptance levels of the papers that we have published, we want to publish? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yati, right? So Yati, oh no, sorry. Cannot move on from Yati. Rosnani, okay. Rosnani, to increase, talking about the acceptance and then we relate with your results, right? Okay. This one thing. That's why sometimes I do, okay, this is what I always say to my students. Or if, let's say, if you your study or research is purely quantitative, and then, okay, you want to measure, of course, you want to prove your hypothesis, okay? So if it's found that your hypothesis majority been not supported rather than support, so do an additional work, go and do some interview. Beside of course, we can justify based on the paper, other paper references, and that's one thing. Okay, but again, we do interview. Why? Sometimes, even though we adapt a prominent research framework, due to culture, the geographical area can make a difference. The result can make different. Okay, so talking about emotional intelligence, if you come across studies from the Western country, they say that they outline the variables 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you try Google, find a study that conducted in Asian country, there's one additional variables that found. So these are the things. So that's why go. That simple thing, you do conduct interview, so you have an additional result. So that can boost up the chances or likelihood your paper to be accepted. That's one thing. Okay, I hope I answer you. Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, Prof. My name is Yusuf Nuhu Inwa, also from School of Humanities. My question is, if I was not mistaken, we have at least primary and secondary data. Maybe literary text.
Sorry?
Literary text, like novels, poetry, literary text. Literature, yeah, literature are part of secondary data.
Okay.
So how can you apply ethics in while you are analyzing literature of a particular author? How can you apply ethical research ethics on it?
Okay. Thank you so much. I like this question because why? Your name just now? Yusuf. Okay. I'm facing this my issue during I'm doing my PhD. Sometimes, I don't know you agree with me or not, you like this sentence or statement. And that statement you refer from the current year. But if you see that author is also cite from the previous study, which the year, the original 1951. Of course, when we are doing study, we want a recent reference, right? So what you need to do? Okay, to those librarians, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah? Okay, but I'm being advised, you need to cite both name. Which study conducted by whom, cited from the original author. So that can be help you. So you acknowledge both of them. Fair enough. Okay? Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah.
Hi, Prof. Thank you so much for your presentation. Appreciate it a lot. So I just want to add in regarding, I'm Wenda from School of Chemical Sciences. Yeah, I just want to emphasize a bit on the importance of reference, right? Because one of my collaborator has his article retracted because of incorrect reference, right? So I have a question regarding ethics, right? So if let's say we want to collaborate with someone, and is there a platform for us to check whether that person is ethical, or maybe like, is there any platform that shows that the person is actually a red flag? I'm aware that there's one platform called PubPeer, whereby a lot of people will comment a lot of things inside, and then yeah, that I know that some publisher, they're actually using PubPeer to check whether that person is ethical or not. So do you think that, is there any platform for us to do that? And the other one is it appropriate to use this kind of platform to check the credibility of the researcher? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm sorry, can I get your name, sir? Verda. W. Verda. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. With my limited experience and knowledge, okay. I usually, how I do it, that's why it's important for every researcher to get yourself registered in a Google Scholar. Okay, that's one thing. Second, of course, all these prominent online databases, you can have, you keep account based on your institution. Okay, so usually what are my practice? This might be sounds quite outdated. First thing first, you as an author, that's why I say feel free to always update your research publication. I don't say I always do, but I try my level best to frequently do it. So like from the Google, which sometimes, okay, like my name, to be honest with you, Norizan across in Malaysia. And don't be surprised, you can see my name Norizan with a female look. And of course, my IC gender and female. But Norizan also can be used as a male name. So do I facing a problem with my name? Yes. So in the Google, Google Scholar, sometimes not my article being listed. So what should I do? We can update, right? That's one thing. So talking about the online databases, same. But this one I don't come across this issue in any online databases. But in the Google Scholar, I face, so I just do my clean up. Okay, talking about your question just now. Okay, how do I evaluate if the person, the individual doesn't have Google Scholar? It's not a red flag lah. It's a yellow flag first. Why? As a researcher, you claim to be, you have a lot of articles and whatnot, but you don't have a Google Scholar account. As simple as that. Okay. And then, secondly, of course, I will do what I call that in the online databases. I search for the name. Okay. Beside of the name, I will also just glance through, see what is their research area, because it's very important. if you are, social science background, your study, your research should be around that area. Okay, if I ask you yourself, how if you come across my name with, because the no reason I used to put under my bio is doing in electrical electronic things. So of course it's not my paper at all. So that's why I will, remove those. So things like that. So if you come across this, this one individual do medical, you just name it, whatever field of study. I think that also you can, trigger out. I'm always, for this moment, I doing that way lah. I don't use any specific tools to like you mentioned. I hope it's helped you. Thank you. Okay.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Norizan. My name is Farah from IPPT. So my question is, what is your opinion on self-citation? Because, some researchers, we tend to self-cite, to increase the H index. So I'm wondering, what is your opinion on that? Yeah.
Yati, someone is following you lah. Yeah. This one also another difficult question to answer. Self-citation. I need a pause to answer. I say because this is not an easy question to answer. Subhanallah. Okay. Okay. Ethically, is of course it is a wrong thing to do. Okay. But it's happening. We don't deny that. So that's why. Okay. But don't misjudge to those who are doing it. Maybe he or she is not, not aware or have little knowledge about it. Because maybe, okay, because school of thought, we have several school of thought. Some individual will say, hey, it's good lah, you need to do this in order, nanti later on you want to do it. Some, no, let other people do. So things like that. So who? The person or the parties that should bring these two different school of thought to a center line with, like I say, awareness, promote, inform, training, let them, everybody knows that, what are the do and don'ts, ethical and non-ethical things to do. So things like that. Yeah. And in a way, one more thing, when you see people that self-cited, yeah, I would say, how can you self-cite your own work? So things like that. Okay, I hope I answer you, Farah. Okay, the last question, right? Okay. We have another slide. Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you. So finally, I pass my baton to you.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Norizan Anwar atas kesudian menjawab soalan-soalan dari para peserta dengan begitu jelas dan terperinci. Seterusnya, majlis diteruskan dengan sesi kedua oleh Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Song Bengkah dari Monash University, Malaysia. Fokus utama penyelidikan Dr. Song Bengkah adalah dalam bidang omik dan kajian evolusi mengenai sifat agronomik yang mendasari adaptasi fenotipik padi liar Asia Tenggara. Hasil kerja beliau telah diterbitkan dalam jurnal saintifik antarabangsa bertaraf tinggi selama lebih daripada 15 tahun. Beliau turut berkhidmat dalam panel penilai untuk agensi pembiayaan saintifik tempatan dan antarabangsa, jurnal genetik, serta jawatan kuasa penasihat kursus di Universiti Tempatan. Didorong oleh minat yang mendalam terhadap pendidikan awam, Dr. Song juga sering mengupas topik berkaitan sains melalui akhbar tempatan serta pembentangan luar di sekolah-sekolah dan badan bukan kerajaan. Dengan rasa hormat dijemput Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Song Bengkah untuk memberikan pencerahan kepada kita tentang predatory and retracted articles, lesson from the past to change the future. Persilakan.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Selamat pagi tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Saya BK Song, ahli genetik. Sangat gembira berjumpa semua kawan. Semuanya handsome, ceria dan cantik. Alright, so yeah, I never done pantun before, so thank you for bearing with my fake pantun or pseudo pantun, I call it. So, yeah, my name is BK Song. I'm from Monash University, Malaysia. So one of the offshore campus of Monash University from Australia. So my slides, it's been designed for 1.5 hour talk. Okay, but what I'm going to do is to quickly, flip through the slides for the section 1 and 2, and then quickly straight to the point for the section 3, 4, and 5. Right. So, so this is my research focus. So padi angin or weedy rice. Okay. For the international students, padi, paddy, angin means wind. So when the wind blows, so the rice grains will drop. So that's why we call it padi angin. Okay, right. So this is my main research focus. So the lower plants are all cultivated rice, the rice that we will harvest for rice grains and for the rice that you eat on the plate. Okay, the taller one are weedy rice, or padi angin. Okay, so one of the main characteristics of this weedy rice or padi angin is the red pericarp color. So when you peel off the husk, you will be able to see this kind of the red color grains. Okay, so this is cultivated rice. Of course, it is white, mostly white, right? So, but some of them are also white, okay, for those weedy rice, but majority of them are the red pericarp, okay, the red rice grains. So we call it red rice. Also in another term, in those America, I mean the US and the America, like those places. So we call it red rice. So, but there are many different kind of the weedy rice. So you can see different colors, different shapes and length, right? So I would use this simile, okay, to explain about the predatory journal or fraudulent research article. So those weedy rice, those padi angin are problematic articles or fraudulent research article, and the whole paddy field is considered as an academia or the journal, right? And we have legitimate articles. So those scholarly articles, those are the cultivated rice, right? And farmers, they are the editor, they are the reviewers, right? So, okay, so that's me, right? So if you zoom in good enough, you can see a USM logo here. So that's me, right? So I graduated from USM long time ago. Okay, so those are my collaborators collecting and checking for the weedy rice in the paddy field, right? So we are the reviewers, we are the editors for the journal articles, right? And so this is my pantong again, so bear with me. Kulit sama kuning, isi lain-lain. So those padi angin, isi lain-lain. Okay, rumpai padi angin, musuh sawah padi. Okay, because it will cause drop in rice production for the farmer. Okay, it is a musuh for the farmer and the sawah padi. Paper research article. Paper sama bentuk, isi main-main. Okay, budaya predatory, perosak integrity. Okay, that's my conclusion for the session. Okay, so I'll just quickly run through this session 2. I'm not going to talk about it, but maybe if you have time, so we can come back to this. So what I wanted to point out is this. One of the main reasons why there's increase in the reception rate and the predatory journals is because of the World University ranking, right? So started from this Shanghai Xiaotong University for this academic ranking of World University in year 2003. And then year 2004, we have this THE and QS, and year 2010 is split into two, QS and the THE World University ranking, right? So that is, I assume that is one of the main reason why we have so many funny journals and the retraction rate. Okay. All right, so I'm going to skip this one, but I'm going to straight to the point for this. What definition of the predatory journals and how can they be avoided? Okay, so this is a circular that we received. I mean, all the public university received in the year 2023, right? It doesn't come out. Okay, so this is a main point. Okay, so the government is going, I mean, the Ministry of Higher Education is going to ban, no, I shouldn't use the word ban, but it's to prohibit the use of public funding to pay for APC, to pay for article processing charge for those journals coming from Hindawi, Frontiers, and MDPI. So my question is, are those publishers are considered predatory, publishers? So, so first question is Frontiers a predatory publisher? So this is my experience. I have only one paper under this Frontiers in Sustainable Food Systems. So as a review paper, so I'm the corresponding author, and we got the very transparent and very high quality reviews that we receive, okay, from the reviewers, and then we can see the name, of those reviewers. Also, we have 2 reviewers giving us very constructive suggestion and feedback. And this guy, I know this guy, so he's a true expert in this area. This guy from the name of the organization, so yeah, he's also the expert. And yeah, this is a paper that I published in the year 2023, right? So, and all these are the comments from the reviewers, and these are the response that we need to filter and respond to the editor, to the journal and the reviewers, okay, in order to publish this, right? So I would say it is a very positive experience with this Frontiers journal. So, well, I in this case, I mean, at least for this paper, I don't think it's some kind of a predatory, okay? And I have also experience with the NDPI. So long time ago, about 12 years ago, so I published, as a co-author, so I published this paper, and then this is a very positive experience also in this IJMS, International Journal of Molecular Science, right? So, but we ask the question whether this MDPI a predatory publisher. If you look at their website, so they have 453 journals under this MDPI publisher, and the first thing you see on their web page is this, we are a Swiss publisher. Okay, we are from Switzerland, right? So welcome to MDPI Switzerland. Okay, but is it really from Switzerland? Okay, is MDPI from Switzerland? Come on. So the fact is, the truth is that the headquarters, the office is in Switzerland, but their management team has no decision-making power in deciding whether or not to publish a particular paper, right? And all paper, if you order a paper, it's like buying things. You go to a supermarket, buy Maggi mee, so you want to buy this. So they'll send this paper order to China, all from China. Okay, so that is the fact. And some years ago, one professor from Canada, he came over to Malaysia, and then and during the lunchtime, so he shared with me about this, piece of information. So he is a chief editor for one of the MDPI journals, and then he said, yeah, this is true. So yeah, everything is from China, so nothing from Switzerland. So Switzerland is just like, an office. Okay. So, but I would say many journals or publishers fall into a gray area between this predatory and legitimate area. So you can't really just, use this one-size-fits-all definition to say that MDPI is a predatory journal or publisher or Frontiers, or I'm not familiar with Hindawi, but I'm sure these are Frontiers and MDPI. So not all are predatory journals. Okay. So it means that there's a lacking of consensus on the definition of predatory journals. But this paper on Nature in 2019, so it gives this definitions. So it says that predatory journals or publishers so are entities that prioritize self-interest. They care only about the money, their money in their pocket. Okay, and it is characterized by false or misleading information deviating from the best editorial or publication practice and lack of transparency, like peer review process, the editorial process, right? So, and another thing is aggressive. They are very aggressive. So I'm going to share with you some of the characteristics that I collected from that paper as well, and also my personal opinion. Okay, so number one, so Bill's list of predatory journals. So is the journal on a Bill's list of consider predatory journals, right? So worldwide, globally, so our academic community acknowledge Bill's list, Beck's list, and his contribution. And some of the universities also use this list as a guideline for professors and authors whenever we want to publish a paper in a journal. So whatever on this Bill's list, they consider it as a blacklisted predatory journals. Okay, but remember, Bill's list, this list is only created and curated by one person, a retired librarian called Jeffrey Bills. Okay, so should we consider, should we allow one person to act as judge and jury deciding the fate of all the journals? Definitely no, right? Okay, so if you look at this, this is the analysis by that paper. This is Bill's list, and then this is other database, other list of journals considering those predatory journals only. So you see the overlap journals is only this small amount of journals, which is at a consensus of between different lists, right? Meaning that they are on the same page, like saying that these are the predatory journals. Okay, so another thing is those Scopus, Web of Science, JCR, if you think that those any journals index on the Scopus or Web of Science or JCR and cannot be predatory journals, so that is actually a misconception, right? So don't think that everything is on the Scopus of Web of Science are not the good one, are not predatory journals, okay? And because predatory journals nowadays, they found many ways to penetrate into this list, into this database, right? So, like in my field, molecular biology, so I know that, some of the many journals in the Scopus, especially those Q1, Q2 journals, so they are actually considered as a predatory journals, but they are indexed in this Scopus. So, right? So that is a first question. Second question is, has the journal presented false or misleading information on the website or emails? Incorrect address is one thing. Remember the Switzerland thing, right? So that is one thing. Fake impact factor. So that is very easy to manipulate it. To manipulate, right? Editorial board. So this is also, some professor, they are unaware their name are on this editorial boards, on this some of the predatory journals. Okay. And also, especially number 6, misleading claims about the peer review process. So many journals, they didn't go through peer reviews, or they just simply give it to someone, and then the person just gives, say, good word, good publication, good write-up, and then that's it, peer review. See, also peer review, right? So this is the question that we may want to ask. Double-blind peer review, it may not be double-blind, okay, but double-blind is a common practice especially in science, okay? So, but predatory journals give ultra-fast review MDPI give only 1 week for reviewers. 1 week, imagine that 1 week, professors always are so busy with so many things on the desk. So how can they finish this, peer review within 1 week? MDPI, almost all journals. See, this is the invitation to me. Within 1 week, they want within 1 week. That's crazy. Okay, so these are the examples of my comments and feedback for journal paper. Okay, this is submitted to Plant Biotech journal, one of the top 10% journal in plant science. This is all my write-up, my comments, my feedback. Okay, when I do peer review. Okay, but at the same time, if you do peer review, sometimes for certain journals, you can also see comments from other peer reviewers. All right. So, and I got this opportunity to look at how other peer reviewers do their job as well. So this is one sentence, 2 sentences actually, one statement from one reviewers. Okay, this is from another one. Okay, so this is so-called the ultra short or low quality comments. So this is definitely not helpful for the authors to improve their papers. Okay, so and number 4, aggressive invitation for publishing and reviewing. This is also to me, right? They simply send or broadcast the email to anyone, okay, like me, send it to me and they ask me to review this paper. Okay, but it's not my research area. It's something to do with plant. Of course, what is this? Barley, of course, also plant, but barley is not rice. Right? Of course, barley is also crop, okay, right? But it's not rice, so it's not my research. Even though it is rice, but this is something antibody. I'm not familiar with all this. Think, imagine this: if I accept this invitation and I just give a one-liner comment and say, "Oh, very good job." Okay, yeah. Well, so then the editor will look at it. Oh, Prof. Song say, Dr. Song say, very good job. So they publish this paper. So, well, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is from NDPI as well. They are very aggressive, and yeah, and they focus a lot on the quantity over the quality. Okay, see, all these are the emails from who? This is from the MDPI also, right? So I'm not saying that all the journals under MDPI are, predatory journals. I'm just telling you that some of their journals are very aggressive in this. Question number 5. So as what I mentioned earlier, so of course, not all journals index on the Scopus and Web of Science are non-predatory, okay? But at the same time, on the other hand, okay, if the journals are indexed on Scopus or AJCR under this Web of Science, okay, at least someone have gone through, the curation job and try to certify that, this is a quality journal and it should be under this list of Scopus or Web of Science. Okay, at least someone has gone through the filtration. Okay, so then, you should have more, sense of security to trust the journal. Okay, but it needs to be very careful, okay, if you do that. Okay, another question is about the APC. Okay, is it very high APC? Like, for example, recently I published a paper on nature communication, and it is about 30,000 ringgit. 30,000 ringgit for one paper. And is it a high quality journal? I would say that yes. In science publication, the top number 1 is a Science and the Nature journal. That is a number 1 journal in science area. Okay, Nature or Science. Okay, if you cannot enter Nature of Science, what would you go to? So usually in my area, it is Nature Genetics. So that is so-called the second rank of the publication in science. Nature Genetics, and some other journals could be like Cell could be equivalent to Nature and Science, okay, in our area. Okay, then if you cannot enter this Nature Genetics, then the next one you go to Nature Communication. Okay, so and the price is this. Yeah, luckily I didn't pay for it. So one of the collaborators of co-first author, so she paid for this APC, 30,000 ringgit, 30,000 ringgit, right? But I assume that this is a high quality journal. Okay, we took more than 2 years, nearly 2.5 years to go through the peer review process, and 4 reviewers, all the big guns in this area, in the particular area, and 3 or 4 rounds of revision. Okay, it took us more than 2 years, okay, to go through the process to get it published. Okay, and this is a APC for the MTPI journal. It is about converting to Malaysian ringgit. It is about 15,000 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, so this is one of the journals for the MTPI. Okay, but as I said, so the quality of the peer review is not up to that standard. So yeah, so that's why I say many of the predatory journals, so they didn't uphold this strict peer review process. Okay, and yet they still charge at this APC a very high price. Okay, and another question is to another extreme. Okay, so is the APC very low? Okay, so is there extremely high volume of published papers? According to this research, okay, they said the APC for the predatory journals, they are usually significantly lower than the legitimate journals. So the median of the price is about like 100 USD. So that is, the findings, okay, from this research, okay. And recently we have a hot debate due to a paper from a local public university, and this publisher, and this is the name of the journal actually. So the charge, the APC is $82, so which falls under this low cost and higher volume model. Okay, they are very highly productive, okay, for this journal. So for example, in year 2023, you go and search on their website, so you'll be able to see 2,300 articles, so earning this amount of money. Okay, and under the same publisher, they have 7 journals like this. Okay, so you can imagine that this Pakistan publisher has been earning so much of money by selling all these articles. Okay, sorry, I have to use the word sellings because it's really very fishy. You go to their website and then you'll be able to see all these 2022, 2021. So, thousands of articles, and mostly from Malaysian universities, right? So, and the question number 8 is about the website, okay? Usually, the reputable journals focus on serving readers and making content accessible to them. Okay, they target the readers. Okay, not the authors. Okay, but predatory journals prioritize the targeting the author rather than the readers. Okay, so but of course, yeah, many predatory journals, they have their own ways to penetrate this, to hide these characteristics, right? Okay, so this is a right. So this is a publisher that I mentioned earlier. So you can see that this is fast review. So this is their trick, and this is the button, okay, on their first page of the website. So this is one of the characteristics, okay. And this is another one, okay, problematic publisher or journals, right? And if you look at those like Nature Communication, so of course you can see this button as well, but this is, you can't run away from this button or this link, okay, if you are creating a website for the journal, okay. But the most important part is that it is more targeting for the readers rather than the authors. So you have all this information, okay. As a reader, I go to the website, of course I want to look for the papers, okay, the relevant paper in my field, and then for my thesis or for my research. Okay, so that's why we have all this information, all this current paper, latest, newly published papers on the website, right? And yeah, okay, the list is very long, so you can just continue argue about that and look for other characteristics of these predatory journals. Okay, but what I wanted to say is a single predatory characteristics may not be enough to classify a journal as a predatory journal. Okay, because it's very hard to define a predatory journals. Okay, but if a journal exhibits a combination of several features of those, in the list, so you must be very careful. Must be careful with that. Okay, whether or not you should publish a paper on those journals, right? Okay, here's my pantong again. Okay, biri luar serigala. I'm sorry to all international students. So you may want to get help from local students to get it translated for you. Okay, but it's a pantong. So I call it pseudo pantong or fake pantong. I'm not really good. I'm not good at it at all, but I just want to try something new. Okay, so I've never done this before. This is the first time doing all these pantong things. Biri luar, serigala dalam. Okay, ciri-ciri predatory, definisinya kabur. Okay, hati-hati selalu, jangan diterkam. Okay, fikir-fikir dahulu, jangan cepat takbur. Okay, so acknowledging ChatGPT for phrasing the last sentences. Okay, all right. So ChatGPT is very bad in giving me pantong. But Google is the best. I always ask, sila beri perkataan yang berakhir dengan an. Okay, from Google. Yeah, so it's very good at giving me that. Yeah. So, okay, so the next one is about the retraction rate. Okay. Professor Norizan has been talking about this. Okay, Malaysian ranked world number 6, and so this is the paper from Nature. This is Malaysia. Number 1 is Saudi Arabia. Okay, and Pakistan, Russia, China. And you can see those regular, names or countries like China, India, and Malaysia, always on the list of this top 10. Okay, so in fact, this is not the first time that Malaysia being ranked as a top 10 country in this retraction rate, right? In 2018, so Malaysia ranked number 5, okay, along with India, Singapore, Romania, Iran, and other countries, right? So this is on science, okay? And I think first of all, we need to understand that retraction is not really to punish the authors, okay? Retraction is not for punishing the authors or the researchers, right? So it is mainly to correct the literature and alert the readers about the articles containing such flawed and erroneous data, okay? So which means that those findings cannot be reliable, okay? And this is to correct the literature and ensure its, the scientific integrity, okay? And in these guidelines, so it says that editors should consider retracting a publication if they found these kind of features in the paper, okay, including plagiarism, okay, duplication, publication, unreliable findings, right, materials or data without authorization, legal issue, unethical, research, so those kind of things, right? So those are the features that we will consider if you want to retract it or not. Yeah, I personally have a experience when I published a review paper, and we found that the first author did some mistakes in compiling the data. So we thought it is quite a serious issue. And then we wrote to the editor. We said we want to retract this paper. That was 2013. Okay, after a few months, the paper been published, so we found the errors, and then we wrote to the editor. So we said when to retract the paper, but the editor wrote back to us, the chief editor wrote back to us, and then he said, well, this is considered not so serious, and the guy suggested us to publish a corrigendum, a correction for the paper. Okay, so that's how we have another corrigendum paper published on top of my paper. That is a review paper. Okay, voluntary retraction is a very small number. Some of the retraction are due to this voluntary retraction from the author themselves. Okay, but majority of the cases involve issue of academic integrity and misconduct, right? And if you look at the retraction watch, those around 5,000 retraction reported by Science and Nature, they are only tip of the iceberg. Okay, in fact, there are hundreds of thousands of paper undetected. Okay, especially those produced by predatory journals, so-called paper mills, producing this kind of the academic papers, right? So it is the retraction data reported or analyzed by the research published in the Nature or Science is only like tip of the iceberg. So, well, not completed. Okay, but anyhow, so okay, so these are my personal views on the issue on the public media, on the Star, New Straits Times, and also this is Malay Mail. Okay, so if you look at the Malay Mails and the New Straits Times, you will be able to see duplicate publication. Okay, so when in this kind of publication, publishing our opinion on the local media, okay, when we email our write-up to the editor, okay, almost certainly the editor won't reply us. Okay, so that is a norm in Malaysian local media. If I wanted to publish an article, I send it to this media ABC and the editor, and I say, please let me know if it is rejected or or you are not going to publish it. Okay, they won't reply you. Okay, so the general rule of thumb in this kind of publication is after 3 days, if you read the Star, belum lagi, not yet published, then it is considered rejected. So what happened to this article is that I sent to the first media, after 4 days, not yet, and then I assume that it is rejected. Then I send it to another media, and you look at the time here. So this one published in the midnight of this, don't know what date, 19 or what, January. Okay, but the next morning, after a few hours, another media published the same article with the different names, right? So that's how I got this duplicate publication, and I wrote to the to the media, to the editor, and they just ignore. So so this is my email, okay, to the editor. But well, I said, well, I got a duplicate publication. So anyhow, that is for the public media. Okay, so go back to this. The retraction rates, Malaysia being ranked number 6 on top of the ranking. So I got all this information from the open database from Scopus and Retraction Watch. Okay, and then I calculate this retraction rate per 10,000 papers retraction rate for each of the university, right? And then yeah, so this is examples. This is from USM. You can see the name of this is from MBPI. This is also MBPI. This is another journal, right? So, and you can see that the reason why they retract the papers usually is due to the academic dishonesty. Okay, and these are the data that I obtained from both database, Scopus and Retraction Watch. I got all the 20 public universities and most of the private university, but I just published 7 here because I thought these are the 7 main one focusing a lot on research, and those are from the private university. And number of citation of paper. So because the next question that I asked is, what is the reason causing all this high retraction rate in each of the university? Okay, so and I did some analysis. So this is only part of my analysis, and I got like of course I got the number of papers for each university. I got the top 25%, the Q1 journal percentage for each of the university. I have international collaboration. I have also citation, number of citation, average number of citation per paper, okay, for each of the university. Okay, and I found that this is somehow, has a bit of influence or has a bit of like correlation with the retraction rate. Okay, and yeah, so this is also part of my analysis. So top 25%, so-called the Q1 journal. Okay, and you can see that the R square is about, well, very weak correlation. Okay, and the citation paper, okay, it is 0.21, slightly higher than the top 25%. Okay, and I thought maybe I shouldn't put in some of the universities because their number of papers are very low, and I remove those private university producing less than 5,000 paper in the past 20 years, and also public university less than 10,000 papers in the past 20 years. And I also remove those cost-focused public and private universities, like for example, the UTP, Petronas, so it is a very much engineering university, so I removed that. So I only include those all-rounded, so-called all-rounded university offering, all kind of courses, including the 7. Yeah, I retain this 7 university for public university, and I have UMS included, Sabah. I have Pahan, University Pahan included, and this University Technical Malacca. So for private university, because of this criteria, so I remove majority of them and retain only Monash University, Nottingham, Utah, and Sangway University. Okay, and you can see that the correlation increased a bit, right? 0.31 now. So I assume that this is one of the reasons. So of course it's very complicated, and you can keep on doing this research, polishing the data analysis and dig into the troubles and get all this information, learning about, understanding about more about this reason of retraction rate. Okay, and yeah, I open my door widely to anyone, librarians or any researchers who are interested in working together with me. Maybe it could be one small publication. If well, let's see how. So anyone interested, just contact me, and we could work together on this. Right. So the last part of it is about the future. So these are all my personal opinions. So measures that Ministry of Higher Education and university and academics and journals can consider to address the issue of this retraction and also the predatory journals. Okay, number one is, I think, it needs to be seriously acknowledged, okay, the issue of this retraction. Okay, but if you look at the, the response from our MOHI, our Ministry of Higher Education, it seems like it's not so serious. Okay, mungkin tak berapa membimbangkan. It's maybe, perhaps, it's not so worrying. Okay, so, well, I think it is very worrying, and I don't agree with that statement. Okay, sorry to say that, but well, this is the I mean, the stance or the attitude that Ministry of Higher Education has for the moment, okay, I think it needs to be seriously acknowledged and, doing something, right? That is number one. And I also think that this kind of a paper gamer, okay, whether it is like, through free rider or predatory journal, so I think it is some kind of money scammer, okay? See, the scam itself already tell us, see, A for academic paper gamer, M for money scammer, right? So, so I think it's a scammer things, okay? So, I created the table comparing between these two, so money scammer and academic paper gamer, okay? And the overall consequences of this is like what Prof. Norizan has mentioned earlier: loss of trust in academia, loss of money, of public funding, loss of reputation in the academic system, mental, physical harm to the victims and the general public. So all these are the consequences that we will be facing. And I think World University Ranking is one of the reason behind all this problem, okay? And I don't think that we should focus too much on this World University Ranking, and these are my personal opinion on the STAR published in 2015 and 16, okay? And I don't really agree with this. More is better. We should focus more on the quality over the quantity, okay? More is better is only for consumerism, not for academics, okay? So, so this is another one published on the Malaysia Kini. Okay, so this is from Thailand, okay? Lecturers being fired because of all this academic misconduct, okay? So maybe I think Mohi should, learn from them and then do something on it, okay? And this is also another thing that we could probably do: anonymous reporting channel, okay, from the university. And I personally not agree with H index, honestly, okay, because it can be easily manipulated, okay. There are many things that lecturers or professors can do to simply fool this system, H index, okay. So I can share with you more how to increase your H index within 1 year, okay, if you want, if I have more time, okay. So focus on impact, not on the community, not about the number of papers, okay? And you can read this paper, they are talking about this problem as well, okay? And so number 5, is it number 5 or number? Yeah, so this is, the ethics guideline from the university. Number 6, yeah, a national committee, maybe from Mohi together with the university to monitor and evaluate paper publication, to promote a culture of academic integrity, okay, maintain transparency and accountability in academic publishing. And as I said, this is my paper on nature communication, and you can see the peer reviewers' names after the paper being accepted and published. So they publish the name of the reviewers, except this number 4, reviewer number 4, he or she refused to expose the name. But this Peter, Robert, Chun Yiwu from China, so all these are the big guns. All these are the big guns. Sorry, this is from Taiwan. All these are the big guns in the field. Okay, so we know who reviewed our paper. And uphold research integrity. So I seriously think that, we as a senior professor, so we need to, have this kind of the more workshops or trainings for our younger generation of academics. Okay, and I think USM librarians should, must be commended for conducting these symposiums, because not many universities would like to do this, get into trouble to conduct this kind of the symposium or workshops, okay, because it won't boost our H index, I guess. But well, Okay, so my conclusion, sepandai-pandai tupai melompat, akhirnya jatuh ke tanah juga. Secerdik-cerdik, profesor menciplat, akhirnya malu di dada juga. I was told by someone that I got a, ciplat is a K. So this pantong fail, I guess. so, yeah. Retract the pantong. Yeah, betul, yeah. Betul. I can change. Wait. Secerdik-cerdik profesor plagiat. How about plagiat? Plagiat. Jadi, boleh ke? Boleh pakai Okay. Any guru bahasa, cikgu bahasa kat sini? So, saya budak baru belajar. Kalau silap, tolong betulkan. Okay. So, that's all for my presentation and thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Sombengka atas pembentangan yang sangat menarik dan relevan, terutama sekali kerana topik ini sedang hangat diperkatakan pada masa kini. Perkongsian ini pasti memberi manfaat yang besar kepada kita semua. Sekiranya hadirin mempunyai sebarang soalan, dipersilakan untuk bertanya kepada penceramah kita. Sebelum tu, Doktor, saya ada 2 soalan daripada Facebook. Pertama, Fuad from UTM, what is the recommended percentage of citation from open access journals versus high impact journals index in WAS or Scopus for a well-balanced academic article?
Recommended citation?
Recommended percentage of citation from open access journals versus high impact journals index in WAS or Scopus for a well-balanced academic article.
Is there any rule to set this ratio, percentage of open access?
Open access.
Is that? I'm not aware about any guidelines or any regulation to set a rule, to set a ratio or percentage of the open access. I'm not aware of that. As long as it is high quality journals, legitimate journals and papers, then we should be accepting it as a citation. Whether it's, well, that's my opinion. Am I answer the question correctly or do I misunderstood the question?
Okay. So second question. Cik Ramlah from USM. What impact could citing sources from so-called predatory journals have on publishing a paper or writing a thesis?
What impact of?
What impact could citing sources from so-called predatory journals have on publishing a paper or writing on thesis?
I would say the quality of the paper, yeah. Rubbish in, rubbish out. Citing rubbish, the content of the paper would be unreliable or less reliable, okay? Yeah, because imagine that predatory journals or papers, so if you have gone through those shoddy, fishy, suspicious peer review process, it means that it's not being peer reviewed. It's not being properly or professionally peer reviewed. So it means that the quality is, well, cannot be reliable. Well, it can be a good one, but most likely it won't be a reliable content or reliable paper or research. When you cite those unreliable paper or findings, then your content, your own paper will be in trouble. Right, so that is an impact. Yeah, a negative impact, unfortunately.
Okay. So any question from the floor?
Yes, Yati.
Based on your article title reiteration, about reiteration, can you share the a formula to calculate the reiteration rate if you don't mind?
Yeah, so it's in one of the slides. Yeah, I can share the, I mean, as a handout to everyone if you're interested in that. Okay, but I have to remove some of the sensitive data from the slides. Right? So, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
The methodology, yes. Yeah. I welcome all librarians to work together with me in the calculation. So
sure, in the future.
Yeah.
Hi, Prof. Song.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
it a lot. Yeah, I have two questions. One is related to retraction due to conflict of interest. So I am aware that there are quite a number of retraction due to conflict of interest. For example, just now you shared that one of the frontier publication, right? So the reviewer, let's say the reviewer is one of your friend. So do you think that the articles that has reviewer as your friend should be retracted due to conflict of interest? That's my first question. The second question is, what is your opinion regarding republishing a retracted paper due to error? Yeah, and
Publishing a
yes.
retracted but corrected paper.
Yes, that's right.
You corrected the data,
Yeah.
the errors,
Yes,
then you
that's right.
republish again.
Yes.
Wow,
Thank
very
you.
tough question. Okay, I think the first question is about the conflict of interest. Well, this is very tricky. So how can we prove that you have a conflict of interest with that person or that reviewer? How can you prove that? Well, you can always argue that no, he is just coincident. So happened that he's my friend. So, but he did his job professionally. So, I have also seen handling editor is the same person, one of the co-authors in the list. So, yeah, you can go to the website and check it out. So all these things happen. So conflict of interest. And the reviewer things, I know that it is happening, always happening in academia. So some editors, some authors, they know that, some friends, okay, might be more favorable towards their, accepting their papers. So they suggested that, this 1, 2, 3% should be the reviewers, okay? Or they go through the editors. Or the editors himself or herself is the student of that author. Okay, so, but it's very hard to, to prove this, right? So yeah, honestly, I don't have any answer for that. So it's very complicated, and it is, unless the university itself would like to take action on the authors for this kind of conflict of interest behaviors, right? Sorry, what is your second question again?
Yeah. Second question related to the republishing a retracted paper, because some retracted paper is due to like error, data error, which I think can be republished again.
Yeah,
And just to add on to the first response from you, right,
Yeah, yeah.
regarding the conflict of interest. So I know that recently Elsevier put a lot of interest in this. They are trying to prevent issues related to conflict of interest, right? So there are certain journals that started to take action against this conflict of interest issue. For example, bioresource technology, whereby they look into, I don't know whether you're aware that there's one researcher, Professor Ashok Pandey. He was the chief editor, ex-chief editor of bioresource technology, but he has a lot of retraction due to the conflict of interest issues, right? So this is unfortunate for him. I don't know him, but I don't really like to have this kind of issues. So I think we have to protect ourselves against this conflict of interest issues. Yeah. So I think of course the publisher, editors, reviewers, and authors have to be aware that this issue exists, and we have to declare that we cannot have a certain editor handling the manuscript if we have some professional relation with that editor.
Yep, that's true.
Thank you.
That's true. Yeah. I think it's much easier to do it if it is about like thesis examination, but when it comes to papers, it's very challenging. Yeah. Yeah. Second question is about the publishing the corrected, retracted paper. Of course, again, this is a very challenging question. So if you have done some, been involved in this kind of an unethical, so-called, something not so right in the academic publishing, then your name will be tarnished. And the reviewer, if they know you, if you know the person, then they will be very much careful. Okay, the editor will be very much careful, especially those top tier journals, those reputable journals. Okay, But there are so many thousands of journals in this world, so they can always find a way to penetrate into the list and then go to certain journals, even those Q1, Q2 journals, and publish it after correcting the journals. To me, whether or not you have been found so-called guilty with this.
Sorry, just to add in.
Yeah.
I think if it's misconduct, then there should not be any tolerance towards misconduct. But if it's just like an error due to data, I think that one is still okay to republish it. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about the correcting the the errors and then republish it, right?
Yes, that's right.
So, what do you think? Do you think it is allowable? Do you think it's okay?
I know some journal they allow it.
Yeah.
Some retracted paper has been republished due to the error, but I don't have any opinion whether it is appropriate or not appropriate.
Yeah, it's very tricky question. Okay, because in science, in my field, biology, there are so many parameters, so many steps and procedures, and so many different protocols. So many different versions of the protocols involved in our experiments, in our research, and it's very complicated. It is almost impossible for reviewers to go to your lab and check each of the item and then ensure that all these are following these procedures that you have been stated in the methodology section, and including the data, whether they are genuine or not, whether you manipulated or not. So it's very hard in my area. So, well, we definitely shouldn't tolerate this kind of academic misconduct. But unfortunately, yeah, in the real world, in the real research world, so it always happens. Some professors, some researchers would always find their ways to do all these kind of funny things. Yeah, including the plagiarism. And we tell students every day, jangan plagiarize, don't plagiarize, and then the students say, okay, yes, sir, and then professors do it themselves. Right? So, welcome to the real world.
So, Dr. Song, there's one question from the Telegram, USM Library Telegram, from TK. She or he asked about a bill list. One of the articles or journals that he found that HRMARS, Hermes, is listed under bill list as a predatory blacklisted journals. But then these journals is listed also in ERA. So what is your opinion?
Whether or not it is.
Yeah, whether or not it is a predatory or it is reliable journal.
Yeah, again, a very tricky question. So whether or not it is a predatory journal is, well, in academia, we acknowledge that Bill's list is a good compilation of the predatory journals, okay, but it's not always the case, right? So, well, I would say, go through the go through the list the characteristics that I list down earlier, and then check whether it hits several characteristics or not. Okay, don't just rely on what other people say, like the Bill's list or whatever list that they have. Okay, but if it is on the Bill's list or if it is on certain list, then yeah, we must be very careful. Okay, we don't have a definite answer for that, unfortunately. Okay, it's very tricky and challenging, okay, to define whether a journal is a predatory one or not. Okay, but as I say, if you go through the list, if it hits several characteristics, then most likely it is a predatory journal. Right? And you must be very careful. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, thank you very much.
Is there any questions? No? So MC, can wrap up?
Okay. Kami amat menghargai jawapan-jawapan serta pantun-pantun menarik yang diberikan oleh Yang Bersahabat Profesor Madya Dr. Song Bengkah. So terima kasih atas perkongsian ilmu yang sangat berguna. Jadi sebagai tanda penghargaan kepada para penceramah, majlis mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Puan Arinawati Ayub, Ketua Pustakawan USM, diiringi oleh Yang Berusaha Puan Radia Banujan Muhammad, Timbalan Ketua Pustakawan, untuk mengiringi, untuk menyampaikan cenderahati kepada kedua-dua penceramah kita. Dipersilakan juga Profesor Madya Dr. Norizan Anwar. Okay, seterusnya Profesor Madya Dr. Song Bengkah. Terima kasih diucapkan. Hadirin sekalian, selesai untuk sesi pagi bagi simposium kita pada hari ini. Terima kasih kepada para penceramah atas perkongsian yang sangat bermanfaat dan jawapan-jawapan yang terperinci kepada soalan daripada hadirin. Majlis kini berehat untuk menikmati jamuan tengah hari. Dipersilakan para tetamu jemputan untuk ke ruang rehat staf perpustakaan. Manakala bagi para peserta, tuan-puan boleh menikmati juadah yang telah disediakan di ruang belakang Dewan. Kami berharap dapat bertemu anda semula pada sesi petang yang akan bermula pada jam 2.15 petang dengan ceramah bertajuk Etika dan Integriti Penyelidikan dari Aspek Perundangan serta sesi forum Etika dan Integriti dalam Penyelidikan, Isu, Kontroversi dan Amalan Terbaik. Sebelum tuan-puan beredar, tuan-puan boleh mengimbas kod QR di skrin untuk mendapatkan mata CPD atau CSD khusus bagi sesi pagi ini serta bagi mengisi borang maklum balas yang telah disediakan. Terima kasih.